Hey everybody, Dan Sixsmith here, host of Sales is King. Happy to be with you this evening and just want to talk about the latest episode, which is called Hey Sales, Take Back the Control. And what we talk about in this episode is we talk about a couple of different things. We talk about this whole notion of the death of the B2B salesperson that Forrester has been out there espousing for the last couple of years. We dissect that, number one. We talk about what's realistic there and what's a whole lot of hogwash. And then number two is we talk about, what can sellers do today to take back more control? So let's start with the Forrester example real quick. Forrester came out a couple of years ago and said that 1 million B2B salespeople would lose their jobs by 2020. And wow, that set off a firestorm. People started running for the exits on that one. But the reality is, if you dive deeper into what they said, number one is that the clock starts on this in 2012. So we're already 5 years into it, and I'd love to ask Forrester, well, where are we? What number? How many jobs have we lost? And then, do you still think it's going to be 1 million by the year 2020? That's number one. Number two, if you read a little bit deeper, when they define salespeople, they're actually talking more about order takers. Because what they're really talking about are the more simple transactional type deals where order takers may no longer be required because it can be automated. So let's face it, guys, order takers are not salespeople. In today's cutthroat environment, you cannot call an order taker a salesperson. So I wouldn't even put them in that number. The other interesting fact, and it's really good news for those of you out there that are more consultative sellers, the consultative jobs, the more complex sales jobs, are actually going to increase by the year 2020. So the whole notion of this death of a B2B salesperson is utter BS. Let's just call it for what it is. I think we know if you're in sales today, you've got to be more consultative, you've got to be more prescriptive. And if you are, you're going to be in greater demand. There's no death of the B2B salesperson. Zero death. Sorry, guys. Number two, as we talk about in the podcast, and I won't go into a lot of detail here because I want you guys to give it a listen. It's on iTunes. It's also on Anchor. Forrester also brings out in their most recent, version of the death of the B2B salesperson that buyers are taking greater control. 68% now say they want to do the research themselves. They don't want salespeople involved. And that's sending everyone into a panic. And, I'm here to tell you that I don't think that's such a big tragedy. And I'm giving you a big idea for how you can take back the control. And here it is. Become part of the research. I'm going to say it again. Become part of the buyer's research. And how do you do that? You do that by becoming such a subject matter expert on your solution, on your product, a leader in your company. You're writing articles. You're doing podcasts. You're pushing out videos. You're writing blogs. You're on Facebook. You're on Instagram. You're everywhere. You're doing case studies. So when that buyer goes to research a solution, your solution, you are going to be everywhere. You're going to be all over that research. So when that buyer is ready to move, the first call he is going to make is going to be you. And that's how you take back control of the sales process. And go listen on iTunes, and we'll be back at you soon. Have a good one.